Welcome to That's Good for Footy.
Forget about the heartbreaks, the agony and heartaches. You give it all for the game's sake, and that's good for footy. Forget about the heartbreaks, the agony and heartaches. You give it all for the game's sake, and that's good for footy. And this is what you pray for, every night and every day for. You give it all, then you give more. That's good for footy.
Good evening and welcome everyone. How are you all? Wow. That's pretty bloody good to see that much brown and yellow in one room. Very nice. Welcome to the Mulgrave Country Club. Welcome to That's Good for Footy and welcome to Hawthorn night. I can't stress you how happy I am to see these two blokes out the back. I've been stressing for a couple of weeks now, waiting to get these numbers up to where they are now, and have a look at this. So thank you. Welcome to That's Good for Footy, the family-friendly live and interactive footy panel show. This is where the fans meet the players and the players meet the fans. These shows are for the passionate supporters. These shows allow you to see the players be themselves. I'm ready, let's go. Hawthorn show, May the 29th, 2024. Please welcome to the show. He is our first panellist. He was born on the 11th of November in 1990. He's played a total of 287 games and he's kicked a total of 531 goals. He made his AFL debut back in 2011. When he plays for the Hawthorn Football Club, he wears the number 22 on his back. Could you please welcome to the stage, Luke Bruce?
We're a happy team at Hawthorn. We're the mighty fighting horse. We love our club and we play to win. Riding the bunks with the grin.
Very nice, very nice. Thank you, everyone. That was very nice. Do you want to do just one more for him?
Never get sick of it.
You never get sick of hearing it. Doesn't matter how many footy panel shows you do or any appearances, it's always going to get called out. I've already had a chat with the boys out the back. It seems silly to say, how are you, when we've already done that. But nice to see you and thanks for making yourself available to the Hawthorn faithful who are here tonight.
Yeah, it's good to be here. Always like these sort of nights, give back to the fans. And I know just being able to engage in a sort of quieter setting, I think, is probably the best part about these sort of nights.
Yeah, good. Oh, I like that. Very well said. I'll go along with that too. Let's get our second panellist out here. He was born on the 16th of October in 1991. He has played a total of 249 games. 250 coming up this weekend. How good's that? He has kicked 460 goals. He made his AFL debut back in 2010. When he plays for the Hawthorn Football Club, he wears the number 19 on his back. Could you please welcome to the stage, Jack Gunston?
We're a happy team at Hawthorn. We're the mighty fighting horse. We love our club and we play to win.
Don't we get it? Gunners. Mate, I got to rule this off. This trips me out, and you're very privileged to be here, you guys. 536 games experience, 991 goals combined. Wow, that's huge. That's massive, boys. It really is. And you're coming up this weekend for game 250th.
Yeah, we're at 250, which is pretty cool.
When I read out stats like that and we talk 536 games experience and 991 goals, is there a pinch me moment there for you as well?
What came to my mind just then was who's going to kick the 1,000th goal?
What have we got?
I'm going to have to watch this in the next few weeks.
The thing that gets me with that sort of stat is then you think about like a Dunstall or someone like that for our club and he like kicked it himself. Yeah. it's taken the two of us to get there, but it's big numbers.
We always joke with each other who's passed the ball to each other more and who's got more goal assists, and I think it lands on Luke's got more goal assists, but I've got more score involvements because he always misses when I pass him the ball.
Oh, nice. I like those kind of retorts. They're very beautiful. All right, as I said to you off the top, we're going to talk to the boys and a little bit of footy talk. We're going to get into it with their footy journey. We're going to do it in a segment which is called What About Me? What we're going to do here, I know that you boys both love your footy, but let's find out a little bit more about your journey to get here, okay? What are your fondest memories of your love for football? Was it going with the old man, catching a train to the game with your brothers and sisters, or your mates, or was it going to suburban football games? Can you recall?
Yeah, so I have a couple of really good memories growing up. So probably the first vivid memory of footy for me was my old man was a left footer, and he was a full forward as well. So kicked a lot of goals around home. And growing up on the farm, we could rarely get him to kick the footy with us, and we used to just pester him all day. Like, he'd want to do all this farm work and get all the jobs done first before he'd finally come over and kick. But when you'd get in there, he'd bullet these little like left foot drop punts at you. They were from probably only here to the wall away, and I couldn't catch them. Like, I literally couldn't catch them as probably a 5, 6, 7-year-old. I just could not catch these laser little bullet drop kicks at me. And it probably wasn't until I was sort of 12, 13, 14, or maybe not that old, maybe 12, that I could finally start to actually get my body in behind and be confident enough to catch them. And then the next one was we went down to what's now Marvel, so the old Colonial Stadium, on my under-12s footy trip for Temora. So it was a 6-hour bus ride, stayed out near the hockey fields on that top side of the city over there, and went to Colonial Stadium. So I still remember getting the Colonial Stadium hat and little show bags and all that I loved, put away. And so they're probably the two most vivid memories for me growing up, and sort of like local sort of footy.
Luke, sorry, Jack, to interject. That's a beautiful memory with the old man, especially knowing that farm work takes priority.
Yeah, well, we used to always get in trouble. We'd take a footy everywhere. So I had a brother who was 2 years older than me, and no matter what we were doing, whether we were moving sheep, whatever it was, we just had a footy with us. And as soon as the jobs were done, the footy would come out. Sometimes before the jobs were done, and we'd get in trouble. But it was
one of the only ones in New South Wales with a footy in your hand, I would have thought.
Well, it did fluctuate between a rugby ball and an AFL ball, but fortunately I went the AFL path.
Yeah, beautiful. I love that. Thank you for sharing it. What about you, Jack?
Yeah, probably similar on the family theme. Obviously, we grew up down by Morris Way and used to get the car into to the MCG, and it felt like, when you're young, it feels like it's a 2-hour trip and it's like 35 minutes. But yeah, we were mad Essendon supporters. Don't like Essendon now. Obviously, we know that. It's fine.
Get that out.
And we'd listen to Could Have Been Champions.
Oh yeah.
And I swear I knew like every song. We'd sing it on the way up, and then Essendon. We were all right then, so we'd win and then sing it on the way back. But it was then running on the ground after the game and kicking the footy, and I probably treated it like a game. I reckon I was one of the last ones to always leave, and we'd be home late. But the memories that you remember, and they're the ones with your family that you never forget.
Love it. Beautifully said, boys. Well done. When you were a kid growing up, did you used to get dressed up in your footy gear and just play around the house? Was that a prerequisite?
Yeah, I look back on when I was young, I was like, I wonder if I had many friends, because I was kicking the ball a lot in the house by myself. Like, had the balloon and the socks going up and down the hallway.
Oh, nice.
Wasn't allowed the footy inside, which was probably a good thing. And then I'd kick sort of like the softballs out the back by myself. And I was like, oh, God, I need some more friends here now, looking back on it. But, I always had a footy in my hand. I always had a footy jumper on. When I was at school, I was thinking about recess and lunchtime, Jack in the Pack. Like, I was your typical sort of addicted footballer kid. All your teachers telling you don't rely on getting drafted. You got to listen in school, stop distracting others, all that usual stuff. And it was funny because I didn't think I was going to get drafted. So here we are today. But I was your typical footballing kid.
Good on you, mate.
Yeah, I was probably more along the lines. We played knee footy, so you weren't allowed off your knees in the hallway, so you're tight space. But then I don't know how it must have been a bit of a mix of rugby and AFL, because if you got it to a certain point, then you could stand up and do a set shot somehow. That was sort of the way we played through the end of the hall, or through the doorway at the end of the hall. Sorry, so that was probably our days. But lots of marks on the what do you call it? The jip.
You had a brother at least.
Jip rocket.
I had a sister, so and she was pretty tough.
I had an older brother, so he toughened me up.
Do you remember getting your first footy, and can you remember learning to ride a bike? I say those things in the same sentence because they generally happen around about the same time. Did they for you? And can you remember the experience of both getting your footy and learning?
I can. First ever footy I got, as Jack said, very, maybe even a little bit softer than these ones sitting in front of us, and one of my mates kicked it and it landed on top of a fence post and took a big chunk out of the leather. Oh, yeah. And I cried. That reaction, I literally cried. Exactly. And then my memory riding a bike, I've still got the scar to show. I ripped, the first time ever trying to ride a bike, I ripped that fingernail off. Oh, yeah. From when I turned, I hit a brick wall fence and took that off. So there's, two memories of football and then
they'll stay with you.
Yeah, exactly.
As they have. Beautiful.
You can probably tell who the country kid here is and who the city boy is. I probably had training wheels till I was about 7. I actually remember my first real footy, first like AFL type footy, and I remember I thought when I was younger, I was like, I'm pretty good, I can kick the ball a fair way, and then you get your hands on a real leather match footy and you end up being able to kick it like 15, 20 metres and you're like, oh my God, I'm actually not as good as what I think I am. So that, I think, and then you slowly develop and you learn, but that was my first memory.
Rossi Faulkner, do you remember what it had been?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Did you collect footy cards when you were growing up, and can you remember seeing one for the first time of you and then signing it?
I didn't know, just I think maybe being a New South Welshman.
Yeah.
I think I kept my first one of me. I think someone had it and I was like, can I keep it? I'll give you something else back.
I hope it was a double up.
I collected heaps of footy cards. I was obsessed. I think I got a James Hird signed and a Jonathan Brown because Dad knew their manager, and Mum still got all the footy cards that I've collected today. She's kept a lot of things from when I was young, and they popped up probably I think about 2 years ago when we were going through her house.
How brilliant's that?
Saw them all and saw a lot of old names and good memories.
That's great. Can you remember when that turned up for the first time, and had you perfected your signature at that stage? What was it like?
No, I hadn't. Mine was a full Bruce, written fully out, so B-R-U-S-T, whereas now it's like a B-R sort of squiggle T.
You get heckled. We do signing sessions at the club, and you've got jumpers just coming around, and I've got number 18 here and number 20 here, and you're trying to keep up with all the jumpers, otherwise they start filling them up. Like Nick Watson this year, he had a big pile here. He was trying to... I don't even know if he had his pen licence, to be honest. You get a pretty quick signature after a while.
The last couple of weeks when I've been asking that question, the answer has always been the same. When you get the new kids that haven't perfected the signature, you'll see.
We speed it up a little bit.
There's a big pile.
Just to stitch them up.
Yeah.
I like that. What was more important when you were growing up and playing footy with your mates? Was it taking a specky, or was it banging a ridiculous goal?
I've never had a great leap on me, so for me it was the goals.
Yes.
And you're probably similar, I would have thought.
Yeah, similar. I did love Jack in the Pack as a kid. I don't know. I feel like I definitely haven't done it in the AFL, but I think as a kid I was okay at taking them.
We're both more leading forwards and contested marking, high flying forwards.
Very nice.
Especially at this age now.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with 991 goals, please. How much sport did you used to play at school and at junior level, and how much running around did Mum and Dad do for you?
Heaps.
Yeah.
Like, you feel like as you get older, you're grateful and you start thanking them a lot more for it. And I don't have kids yet. Luke's just had a newborn, but I probably still don't even appreciate how much they do and how much planning they have to do to get you to training, to get you to another sport. Like, I played cricket, and then I threw in some basketball and a couple other sports. I think I tried hockey once, and I'm sure the parents are going, what is he doing? Like, can he do his homework, or can he do something else? And then you've got different teams of football, and when you add it all up, there's a lot of stuff, and I'm not the only kid that was in the family, they would have done a lot of running around for me, and I'm sure even more driving for you guys.
Yeah, we were exactly the same. But unfortunately, although traffic in Melbourne probably take an hour between some spots to train or whatever, but for us it was always like Wagga was an hour, Narrandera was an hour, Griffith was an hour. Like they're a long way so any rep side you made, it was always you had to travel or end up going towards Sydney, so it was sort of 4.5 hours. So a lot of travel, but I don't know, I feel like Mum, they just loved it.
Yeah.
Like maybe Dad not so much because he had to sort of keep the farm going, but Mum just would do anything for us kids to get us there. And all three of us. So I got an older sister that loved basketball and everything like that, and then older brother as well.
Yeah, brilliant.
I think I got to my 18th birthday, and I think she was finally excited for me to start driving myself to a few places. and then I failed my driver's license. So we had to wait another 2 or 3 weeks till we got in and I could drive myself.
Joke's on you, mum.
Stiff.
I reckon there was a running gag in our family. We'd do 100,000 Ks in 3 years.
Yeah.
So it was roughly like the Ks were. So I was like 30-something thousand a year just on running around a sport,
Wow,
pretty much.
mate. Speaking of school, you're captain in PE, physical education. You play against each other. You can go skins, you can go tops on. You've got an AFL list to choose from. Who would be your first pick?
Oh, it's a good question.
Fev.
I'm probably going Bontempelli.
Wow.
I was going to pick him.
Yeah.
Probably Nick Dacos.
Yeah.
I think some of the kids coming in now, it's unbelievable what they're doing. Like, I look back at when I was 18, 19, and I was still probably too scared to even talk to my older teammates, let alone, like, I was nervous out on the field. I didn't know where to stand. I was worried about this and that, and they're just coming in having 30, kicking a couple of goals each game, and it's just like, wow, they're in for long careers, and it's impressive.
We wouldn't have touched a weight or probably known even what kind of...
I still haven't touched a weight for a while.
But like what running to do and things like that, whereas these guys get their hands on and get access to all these AFL players at 12, 13, 14 years of age, and they know exactly what they need to prepare themselves to get the body and whatever ready for AFL. So they get to 18, it's just like, I'm good. They come in and they win all our running and they do all this sort of stuff. It's like, where's that come from?
Wow. Yeah, amazing.
I think if Will Day was still there to be chosen, I'd have Will Day right up there. He's a very, very classy individual.
Yeah. A couple of those things I'll allude to a little bit later on. Your first game is pretty significant. It's part of your football journey, especially to your family and friends. So much so that it is now done as a highlight package, for all to see on social media. Do you remember when you were first told about your first game, and can you tell us the story that surrounds that?
Yeah, I remember my debut, but I remember actually I played in the Pracky games in my first year, and we played up in Alice Springs. I was playing for Adelaide at the time, and it was torrential rain, just bucketing down. There was puddles. Like, I think it would probably be called off now if the game was being played in those conditions. And I had a few friends listening back home, and it was bucketing down, and Rex Hunt on the commentary goes, and there's this young kid, Jack Gunston. I think he's the only one not wet out there. The raindrops aren't hitting him. He's that skinny. So, like, that probably gives you context of how I felt. Like, my first game, when I did debut, I felt small, like I felt skinny. I sort of didn't feel like I belonged. I was excited out there. I kicked a goal in my first game, had Andrew McLeod pass it to me, which is something that I think is pretty cool because he's an amazing player.
Absolutely.
And we got the win, which made it even more enjoyable.
Beautiful. Excellent.
Yeah, I remember mine as well. So I was walking up my staircase on a Thursday night. So Thursday nights, you either, if you see a phone call from Clarko coming through, or now Sam, it's either good or very good news, or it's very bad news. And for me at the time, obviously not playing, so it couldn't have been bad news, unless he was telling me I was going to Box Hill 2s. But yeah, remember that call, and then just the adrenaline that sort of hits you, and then trying to call parents and call family and call all your schoolmates, and then the lead up to like getting tickets sorted and everything, and then you try and worry about the game. And back then we had the sub, so I was sub, which in the end I think sort of probably helped my transition into to AFL footy. Just didn't really know when you were going to get on, and in my case, Stephen Gillam did his ACL a minute into the game in front of the bench.
Oh, wow.
So before I could even sort of comprehend what was going on, I was on the field. I'd had a tackle, got a kick, kicked it to Bud rolled and did his thing, and it was just like, okay, I'm away, and my career's on. So pretty special memories for me.
Who's getting goosebumps out there? That's bloody awesome.
Super sub for that year, weren't you?
I was five in a row. My first 5 games were all super subs. So played a full game my debut, then following week I reckon I only played a quarter, and then the next couple I sort of played full games again. Everyone sort of hated me because it was like Chance Bateman did his hamstring. They're like, every time you're a sub, you get a longer term injury. So I was like, well, we can fix that. Just don't put me as sub.
That's nice, mate. Well done. What about, you've just explained you get the phone call, you're going to be playing. What about when you get to the club and you whack the jumper on for the first time and you look down and it's the Hawthorn brown and yellow stripes, right? And you know this is not supporter gear, this is you're playing. Tell us what that emotion's like for you and cast your mind back. I know we were talking a little while ago, but...
You just wanted like multiple of everything. That was my probably feeling. Like I'd played Swans reserves in the Canberra League, so I remember getting there and I'd like just grab an extra pair of socks, or like when you're a kid you just like loved the gear. It was like, I don't know, it just seemed better than your local stuff. It was just like they had the AFL logo on it and it was just really, really
Just all
nice.
fits tighter.
Yeah,
as well.
it's like everything. It's just something about it. It's just like really good gear, and it's just like, yeah, I want another pair of those. And I remember
then
thinking
you got
that.
your mates asking for it as well.
Yeah, that's right. Then you got a brother who's trying to steal it off you. And I remember exactly the same feeling when you first got to Hawthorn, that every little piece of merchandise they gave you, it was just like, oh, can I get another one? Like try and get friendly with the property steward, so he like slings you a little bit extra stuff. But yeah, pretty special.
But, yeah, I think like you get to a footy club and pre-season's pretty jovial. You're in the change rooms, locker rooms, but it's not till that first game that you see how serious a Buddy Franklin is, or a Ruffy, or Sam Mitchell barking orders, or you're just avoiding Hodgie because he's scary, and like those sort of things that you don't really see a footballer until you see him in the change rooms and see him before a game and see how they prepare. And like Andrew McLeod, I've mentioned him again, but he threw up before a lot of games, and I was like, what's he doing? Like, he's getting nervous and he's playing game 300 pretty much. Like, it's everyone does different things, and it's cool to see. And you're probably doing it a couple of times and you're not thinking how many more times we're going to do it, and Luke's now done it 280 odd times. And
we've got a pretty special thing going on at the moment. So a few years ago they brought it in where, like back when we first started, everyone sort of just put their jumper on whenever you wanted at the end of the warm-up or whatever, and then you sort of come in together, whereas at the moment where everyone waits and we put it on together, so
nice.
that like sort of like looking into each other's eyes and
solidarity.
And as Jack said, it is funny how people react differently to those situations. Like like Jarman Impey's just like biggest smile on his face, just up and about all the time, whereas you then have someone else who's on the other end of the spectrum that's just like, okay, I need to just go into myself here and really zone and focus in. So and you can just see the glassy-eyed sort of player and the fear and excitement, I guess, that comes with the anticipation of the game starting.
Beautiful insight. How much do you remember about your first game, your lead up to it, I want to talk about now. The night before and the morning of, did you sleep well the night before? Did you have trepidation? Did you wake up in the morning with butterflies? Did you have a full stomach, with a nice breakfast? What was the emotion with that?
yeah, a lot of nerves, and I still probably do things now, like you triple check your mouth guards in your bag, you make sure you got your boots, make sure there's every stud's in your boot, or like just little things, and you start stressing about all those little things. You play the game over in your head a couple of times here and there, and it's probably similar to the grand final feelings, really. You just constantly playing the game over and over in your head. I think I slept pretty well most of the time, probably because I was exhausted from overthinking about it all. But you just have those normal nerves, but you've spoken to so many people that have been through it before, which gives you comfort, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And then the added pressure is probably then like just little things that you don't think about, like you're going under the G for the first time. It's like where the hell do you go? Like you've never done any of this sort of stuff before. They check your bags and security and all this sort of stuff you got to go through. So there's little things along the way that happen on those debut games when it's just all foreign. Like it's just like, okay, how do I navigate through all this? But once, I feel like always, and even grand final day as well, no matter how you're feeling, that gut-wrenching sort of butterflies and everything that you can sometimes get, as soon as the ball's bounced, it seems to just leave.
So used to having mum cook you the meal the night before, and now you've got to cook it yourself. And things like that. Everything changes.
Yeah.
Can I ask, was there a player when you got to the Hawthorn Football Club, when you both arrived at the Hawthorn Football Club, that you idolised and you really wanted to meet? Was there such a player at that time?
Everyone will hate this. I was a Saints supporter growing up, so not really. I didn't actually know a lot of the Hawks, to be honest. Like, I wasn't a huge football follower, just being from New South Wales. But obviously, like Buddy's probably one that jumps out. I remember getting a Shane Crawford singlet a couple of years early, but then he obviously retired at the end of 2008. My first year was 2009, so he had left. they're probably a couple.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, obviously, looking from afar, it's always Luke Hodge. I think he's the one that you're always keen to meet. As I said, he's an intimidating guy to just watch and observe, and really strong operator on the footy field. And I do remember I was a bit nervous to meet Bud the first time because I got traded to the Hawks, and then Jordan Lewis texted me. I think he was in Vegas with Bud. And he texted, said, "Mate, welcome to the club, looking forward to meeting you, blah, blah, blah. P.S. Bud says, don't get in his way." So it didn't say, "Welcome, Jack, look forward to playing with you." It says, "Don't get in my way." And that's all I heard from Bud until I met him at pre-season. So I was a little bit nervous to meet Bud the first day.
Yeah, a bit of trepidation. Yeah, you can see that. I get that. As an elite footballer, what is something you want to be remembered for? A match winner, a consistent contributor, a reliable teammate, someone who always gives your all. A leader, what description would you say best suits you?
Yeah, for me, it's probably the reliable teammate. I think, and we both harp on it now with a lot of the young kids. I think, especially with social media and as forwards, we've learnt from Ruffy about first gives and bringing your teammates into the play and doing the team thing. There's enough room for flair, and we love flair and celebrating with the crowd and kicking goals from the boundary. And but what we learnt in our sort of glory days at Hawthorn was turning a good opportunity into a great opportunity, and squaring up the ball for a better shot. And these are the things that win your game of footy. And the goal and mark of the year and all that is great, but I'd rather win games of footy and win premierships. And that's what sort of we learnt from a lot of the guys before us, and that's what we're sort of bringing in now. So I'm always looking for a better shot and always happy to pass it off and ensure we kick a goal, and if it helps us win the game, I prefer that.
Well said.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same as Jack said. They pretty harsh teachers back in the day. They'd certainly let you know if you didn't do the right thing, and you eventually make sure you're doing that, and you sort of follow their legacy in terms of the standards they hold to each other. Mine would probably be just being a consistent performer. Like across my career, I've fortunately been able to do that. So kicking a couple of, like Jack, we spoke about it today on the podcast actually, the difference between having 12 possessions and kicking 2 behinds versus having 12 possessions and kicking 2 goals, and just being that reliable and consistent performer. And that's why we both probably put so much work into our goal kicking, because we might get 2 opportunities a game to hit the scoreboard, and if you're inaccurate, then you're letting the team down. So we've sort of always spoken about that, and that'd be probably one of mine, being just a consistent contributor.
I'm getting heart palpitations up here, right? Because this is
Yes,
exactly...
we are putting a lot of work into our goal kicking this year. It just hasn't been great. We'll get there.
Yeah, it's brilliant. This is great insight. I enjoyed having Sean Burgoyne here just before he played his 400. Tommy Mitchell.
400?
Yeah, I know. It's phenomenal, isn't it? Another 151 and you'll be there, brother.
Nope, sorry. I'd love to, but... No.
Yeah, but just I just love that kind of insight, and you two are bringing it all to the table. Who's been your best mate since you arrived at the Hawthorn Football Club? Have you got one that stands out?
It's probably the
Each
guy next to me.
Yeah,
and then,
good.
Probably a couple of others for me. So Liam Shields and Ryan Schoenmakers, who I was drafted with, who you guys would all know. So Liam, go back to being reliable and consistent. Like there's probably no one who you'd want to run out next to more than him. And then Shu was probably unlucky with just the way his career played out, but he certainly got the best out of himself, and had immense talent, and was so fortunate for him to get the 2015 premiership for him. Yeah,
obviously I'd say Luke as well, but that's a bit boring because we say that all the time. So I was Taylor Dre, who played in 2 premierships with us, 14 and 15. I was best man at his wedding a couple of months ago, and he just played his 200th game the other week as well, which he was the same draft as me. I think he was taken one of the last picks by Hawthorn in that draft. So he was one that reached out straight away when I got to the footy club, and we bonded from there. And I'd say we both have a pretty close relationship with Ruffy. Obviously, he's just come back to the club, but he's probably like that dad to us in a way. He always reaches out. He's a people person, and he's so easy to talk to that whenever we need to vent or just talk about anything, Ruff's always there, and so he's a close mate as well. You mentioned some very fine people in that explanation there, people I've had the pleasure to meet, and they've all been wonderful individuals, very impressive. I just wanted to ask, who has impressed you the most down at the club with their work ethic, their professionalism and their mindset?
Currently or
Yeah.
across the journey?
Yeah. I'd like to do across the journey, but we'll just go.
Currently, I'd say Dylan Moore. So I've fortunately been able to play or work closely with him. His story is pretty amazing. Not too dissimilar to mine. Took a little while to sort of get going. Didn't debut until his end of his third year. I sort of debuted at the start of my third year. So just his resilience and dedication and discipline to stick at it. And now you watch him go about his business. It's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I can't actually name if you came and watched a Hawthorn training session, they are that professional. There's elements of still learning the AFL game, like the Weddells, the Mackenzies, the Wards, these guys. There's a lot to still learn in terms of football smarts and a lot of things. But the way they attack training, the way they're some of the first ones there, straight into their touch, straight into weights, doing an extra recovery all the time. Then their days off, they're constantly doing recovery, which probably took us a couple of years to learn once we got to a footy club. Like kids are coming in really ready and professional these days, and they train hard. The fitness coach keeps throwing more 1Ks at them, more 400s at them. They just keep eating them up, and it's great to see. And we're a fit group, and that's why we can play the brand of footy that we play. That's pretty exciting, and you just keep taking the game on.
Brilliant, absolutely. This one, now not everyone here is a purist and across the footy terminology, and as you can see there are a lot of mum and dad's kids here in the room. For those that don't understand it, put it in a layman's terms and explain what fat side and skinny side means.
What's the easiest with this? So fat side of the oval is if all the numbers are on one side of the oval, so that would technically be the skinny side, so then you'd have the fat. That's a bad explanation. I don't know, that's so hard.
I'll try. So if you're sitting at the top in level 4, it looks so easy. The game looks so easy. As Sam says from the coach's box, just kick it there. Just kick it there. Guys, it's not that hard. But when you're on the ground, you've got people in front of you. Fat side. So if you've got all the players in front of you, you're probably sitting up the top going, who's on the wing? CJ's out there. Just kick it to him. He's on that fat side, that open side. So that's the easy way to kick it and where the space is. Not everyone can kick as far as James Sicily, who can kick 60, 70 metres and get it out there. But normally the open and the fat side is where a lot of the space is.
Yeah, good. Thank you.
That's, better than me. Much better than me.
Very well explained.
Yeah.
I like it because I know there's a lot of people out there that they would watch it and they would understand football. Well, we sort of do. Rules are changing all the time. Holding the ball specifically. But anyway, getting back to it, what I wanted to say is that would be something, and I know most people would just go, I'd love to just hear what the explanation is for that. So thank you, Jack. Well done. All right. Locker room energy is something that can be infectious. Who is a player down at the club who thrives on this? Who is that brings the excitement and the vibe?
I think, who do you guys think? Surely you can name... They're all...
There it is.
And one other? No, he's... C-Max, that's another good one. Ginnivan, that's between CJ and Guinea.
We've got a lot of rat bags now.
Yeah. CJ pulls out this massive big speaker and just gets it pumping in there, and then he'll walk from the change room down to the oval and have it blaring, and they just love it.
It is good. Like we probably weren't when we were the younger guys. We weren't the energy drivers really. We were on the field, but in the locker room we weren't. We had the dads of like Hodgie and Mitch and these guys that were just boring.
We didn't want to. We didn't want to look at them. Like, they were like jump
too intimidating.
And now we're the old grumpy ones in the locker room. Luke's come in, he hasn't slept because his child's not sleeping, and I'm just always grumpy. I never smile. And then you've got CJ jumping around. You got Guinea. You got Nick Watson doing his little stuff dances that he does, and it's a good vibe, it's good fun, and it's infectious, and it goes out into the field, and you can see the boys, especially when we're playing the right way, you can see how fun it is.
Yeah, good. I don't know whether Guinea was more excited to get to Hawthorn or just to get to play with CJ, because they look like they've found a newfound bond. Which one of these things gets you pumped the most before a game, boys? Is it the smell of deep heat, the smell of fresh cut grass, pulling on the jumper, strapping on the boots, a footy in your hands, or the sound of the Hawthorn crowd?
It's probably pulling on the jumper for me.
I'm covered in deep heat each week just to be able to get out there. So I actually can't smell it anymore. I've loved the crowd. The crowd actually got me last year. They stitched me up. the Hawthorn crowd.
Oh, how
So I played for Brisbane last year, came back, and I don't know, you always just think you might get a boo or something, and I've walked to the goal square, and the cheer squad started clapping me. I was like, the reverse psychology here. It got me a little bit emotional. I was like, have I done the right thing here?
Oh, Jack.
It was a really nice moment. Anyway, I played shit and Hawthorn won, but
the reverse psychology
it
works.
worked.
Oh, well done, mate. The siren is gone. You're trailing by 5. Which player do you hope has got the ball in their hands to help you win the game?
We spoke about this today as well. 35 out straight in front, and he picked me. So
Oh, beautiful.
I didn't want to, but my stats don't lie at the moment. So
Tried reverse psychology there too.
yeah, it can't be me at the moment.
I get it. All right. You've just kicked a team lifting goal. You boys have done it 991 times. You look up and you watch the replay on the big screen and you see yourself in a good old-fashioned full-body muscle flex. Is there a point where you go, that's not bad?
you can't get caught watching the replay. That's always Dusty. You know, everyone remembers Dusty's snap last week. Like, how he kicked that, I don't know. To have that penetration to be able to kick it, a snap from like 47 or whatever. But then he stood there and he just like was looking up like the whole time watching his work. I don't know. I hate getting caught watching the replay.
Yeah, you just always doing those kind of ones. Just looking up, just having a look. If you stare for too long, you know the Channel 7 or Fox cameras are probably on you. You can't tell, but you just know. But that's the beauty of
Very nice,
post-game.
very nice. You walk into a pub or a bar and the footy is on. At what point are you conscious of the fact that that is actually what you do for a living?
Yeah, it's pretty surreal. Like you walk in and then sometimes your head even pops up and it's a news clip or something, or and then someone looks at you and you're like, oh, do I look? Where do I look? What do I do? I don't want to watch myself. And I think especially when you're hanging out with sort of like your schoolmates or guys that don't play footy and they're watching Melbourne play and they're supporting and. Sometimes hurling abuse or whatever it might be, like, oh, there's a lot of people that do that to me actually. So yeah, it is. There's a lot of pinch yourself moments, and I think as we get older, when we go back to going to the footy and having a pie and doing all that, it'll still be a pretty cool feeling, knowing that we did it 250 and nearly 300 times.
Yeah, perfect.
I've actually got a pretty funny one from a few weeks ago. So my little daughter was born, and
Congratulations, I might say, Bruce.
and the footy was on at the hospital. It just seemed like a little sort of common area, and I was speaking to one of the nurses, and she said, I'm going to the footy on the weekend, barrack for the Swans. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm like, the Swans play the Hawks this week. I'm like, oh right, I'm like, I play for the Hawks. And she just didn't get it. She was just like, I'm like, all right. And she's like, so where do you sit? And I'm like, well, if I'm not playing, I'll sit on level 2 or whatever, like wherever the enclosure. Oh, right, yeah. Kept talking. Saw her the next week, and she's like, I'm so sorry. They smashed us that weekend. I'm like, oh, you had a good win. She's like, I just didn't get it. She's like, you kept putting it down, and I just was not picking it up at all. So that was pretty funny a few weeks ago.
That's nice. I like that. Oh, wow. Social media is like drinking and smoking. No one really wants to admit how much or how often they do it. But around game time, what are the rules you have surrounding it? Do you put any self-imposed sanctions on when, how often you engage in it?
Yeah, so we've got an alcohol game plan, which everyone's...
What are we talking about? Social media?
Social
media.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said
alcohol.
and...
I was saying, alcohol and smoking, no one really wants to admit that they do it, like social media. I was using it as an analogy.
Yeah. After a good game, I'll check. After a bad game, I won't go near it.
I can't even hear it.
I think as you got a bit older, it's just whatever. If you get some criticism, it is what it is. And a lot of kids and that these days send you their multis, and you haven't got 2 goals, you've only got 1, and it's you owe me $25, and it's like whatever. But yeah, I can definitely see how people might struggle with social media and the pressure that comes with it, and we can only try and teach the kids not to buy into it, and just listen to the people inside the footy club and that. But
very nice.
It's getting harder and harder, I think, to be an athlete or to be anyone, I guess, in the spotlight in the world, and it's a part of it, and you just got to learn to deal with it.
Yep.
I reckon it's very difficult for the boys at the moment with, like, we don't post too much, like we're not that active, whereas the young boys love to be active. And it can be quite difficult if you're losing. Like, so our last couple of seasons we've obviously been building, and this year's been a lot better, and hopefully in the next few years we start to get back to playing finals and winning a lot of games. But I feel like it dictates too much as to when you post and what you post with whether you're winning or losing.
Okay.
And if they continue to get sucked into that sort of mindset, it's I don't think it's ideal.
Yep.
But I think our boys are sort of doing it pretty well at the moment.
I concur. Question for each of you, and I don't want to embarrass you here, but if you had to comment on each other's playing style or some of each other's key attributes, what would you say about each other?
Are we being nice here, or? No, Luke's one wood has always been his tackle breaking ability and his sidestep. I think that he got from the rugby league, and it's worked wonders for me. I know when he's about to do it because then I can start leading, and I know he's going to break the tackle, and more often than not, he's going to pass to me than anyone else. But I think that, and he's just, as he spoke about, is how reliable he is in front of goal, and he's just such a predictable teammate, especially for the guys further up the field.
Beautiful, well said.
Yeah, Jack would be his field kicking. So he always tells me that if he had been able to kick to himself throughout his career, then he'd be a 10-time All-Australian.
You weren't meant to tell anyone that.
But I will admit his field kicking is, like, I think even when he got to Brisbane, I think they were even surprised at how good his field kicking is. And then Jack spoke about being predictable, but his leading is like, defences would say it's unpredictable, but to us it's so predictable in terms of identifying space, blindsiding his opponent, things like that. We've obviously built a connection over a long period of time, but makes it so predictable for the kicker that it makes the kick even easier because of the work that he's put in with his leading patterns.
Yeah, I know we probably alluded to this a little bit before, or it came up as an answer relative to this. Is it sometimes weird when someone recognises you? Any funny stories from such an experience? Has anyone ever confused you at any stage with anyone else?
Liam Shields and I get a little bit of confused, mainly playing. I think, like 22, 26. Yep. Similar hairstyle, similar sort of body build, height, everything. So I've been confused by him a few times.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm confused with him. Sorry.
I know there has been times. I can't think of it off the top of my head. But like the funny thing, when someone comes up, "Oh, you Jack Gunston?" It's like, "Yeah, I am." And, "Oh, you're a lot skinnier than I thought." And it's just like an insult straight up. I was like, "Oh, thanks. Yeah, you're not as tall as I thought." Oh, sorry, like it's me. It's who I am. Do you want to see my ID?
Here, can you sign this? No.
So it's just sort of little things like that do make you laugh. But sometimes I get a little bit awkward about it when someone comes up.
Nice. I wanted to ask you this. A tactical player is one that knows when to slow the game down, take his time handing the ball back to the umpire, kicks it backwards, cramps up a little bit. Who do you reckon best summarises that down at the Hawthorn Football Club?
Ginnivan actually does it pretty well.
That's because he's from Collingwood.
There a few games ago, he turned his back on the umpire and was like looking for him, like trying to pass the ball back to borrow a few seconds for us.
I think Sis does it pretty well getting up off the ground just because he wants an extra break and he's a bit puffed from running around too much and actually have to man him up for the first time. But yeah, I don't know.
Okay.
That's it, yeah.
Yeah, we can go with that. What's more annoying, picking up a dropped iPhone over the fence or seeing a sign with someone asking for your boots?
So I'm not up with all these crazes. And I was walking around and all these iPhones were on the ground. I'm like, oh my God, pick it up, give it back, pick it up, give it back. And then you go on social media and you see they want you to take photos and all this. I've got no idea what's going on. But not too many kids ask me for my boots these days.
Yeah, the boot one there for a while, it did get annoying. It was like relentless. Training, games, it was just constant. I don't know how many pairs of boots they think we wear. Like, I don't change my boots that often. Like, I might go through 3 pairs for the season. Some guys are a bit more often, but I need those boots to train in or whatever. Like.
We're getting old now. We don't have that many boots. Nike don't give us that many boots anymore.
Tell me this, boys. When you were giving away the signed kids' footies at the end of the game, what are you looking out for on the crowd?
Desperation. I reckon you walk to an area and you scan probably about 10 kids and then you see some dads pointing at their kids and I'll look for number 19. If there's a 19 that's jumping out, yep, because they've gone
Paying
to the
attention.
effort to wear a 19. But yeah, I like the desperation and see the passion on the kid's face. It's like, right, you can have it.
Beautiful.
I love doing the like veer towards one and then laser. Oh no, I've picked out the one over here, but like I'll start walking this way with someone else and then veer across. But I know
That's cruel.
I would have picked it from like
Yeah.
the middle of the ground.
Yeah.
Like, I'll look around and go, okay, I'm going into this section,
Yeah.
and this is who I want to.
I do feel bad for the fans that are
Yeah.
at the other end of the race. Like, I'm hoping some of the young kids go there because I'm cooked after a game.
You know,
I'm stuffed.
there's a rule though. That if you're the youngest, you got to go to the furthest away from the race. And so Jack and I just go next to the race.
There you go. All right, mental note. All right, there you go. Oh, I like it. What is your reaction when you see a kid with your number on their back? You just alluded to it actually, but what's it like when you actually see it?
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I'm hoping it's not Jason Dunstall, but
If they're a kid, you're probably lucky.
I think I'm all right. No, it is. That's pretty surreal. I think, especially your first few you see it, you're like, oh wow, this is like kids are actually looking up to you and saying you're the favourite player, and like you sort of don't know what to say sometimes. It's like, oh Jack, you're my favourite player. You're like, cool. Do you want me to sign something or do you want a photo? Like it was really weird at the start, and then the more and more you see it, it's just special. Like I used to idolise certain people when I was growing up, and to be in that position is something that is pretty cool.
Brilliant.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. It's a pretty amazing feeling. My mum is hopeless though. If she sees a 22, she'll go up and then come to me and say, oh, you need to get such and such signed, and I've got the address here, we can send it later on. It's like, Mum, I'm like, seriously, like, you can't do it for every 22, but if she sees one, she normally does it. She's
beautiful.
amazing.
I feel sorry for anyone trying to get a Jack Gunston badge because Mum's beaten them to it and bought them all. So there's probably not too many. There's actually not too many out there, I don't think. Oh, you got one. You beat her to it. Well done.
Nothing better than family, mate. Oh, I love it. Which club did you dislike the most when you were growing up?
I went for Essendon.
Yep.
So
Did you dislike them back then,
so
though?
who's Essendon's biggest rivals?
Quickly move on.
Line
Sorry.
in the sand game.
Yeah. My brother was a Geelong supporter, so I was always just hated Geelong.
And is that...
And continued.
There you go. Look, you make a lot of people happy here in the room with that one. Who is the AFL club that you like to beat the most now in your current playing day?
Collingwood.
Collingwood and...
For me, it's actually Sydney.
Okay.
I think since we've been at Hawthorn, we've had this strong rivalry and really good games of footy against Sydney, and they've been a team that have been up the top of the ladder for so long, and it's just always a fierce, tough game, and they've obviously got us this year, beat us pretty well, but there's some good games of footy, and they're tough games.
Good, great answer. Last question, boys, in this particular segment. What I need you to do is don't look at each other, look out into the audience or look up at the ceiling. On the count of three, give me your answer at the same time. Which club, in your opinion, has got the most feral supporters? 1, 2, 3.
Port Adelaide.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. Put your hands together for the boys. That was a great segment. I loved it. That was bloody good. I hope you really got a lot out of that. That was a great little segment. I've been doing that segment for a little while, doing these shows, and there's nothing better when you get this kind of experience up on the panel sitting next to you, so thank you very much. I want to go into another little segment that we want to do here. I'm going to ask the boys a series of questions. I don't need anybody to contribute with this one, but we're just going to see how the boys go. What I will warn you, though, is just pay attention to what each other's answer is that is being given, because it may come back to bite you a little bit later on. What I'd like to do, first of all, is just ask who would like to go first in this little thing that I'm doing. Great, thank you, Jack. I'm going to introduce it. It's called speed mating. You might recognise that song for I'm Too Sexy, but all right. So I'm not going to put any time limit on this. I'm just going to ask you 15 questions, but they'll be just quick answers straight off as whatever comes into your mind first. Who did you grow up supporting and who was your favourite footballer?
Essendon and Matthew Lloyd.
What is the one headline you'd like to wake up and read about yourself?
The that he won the game, won the grand final for Hawthorn.
Oh, I like it. Who has been your toughest opponent to match up on?
Robbie Tarrant.
Nice. Who was the last person you spoke to on your phone?
Hugh McCluggage.
Okay. Well, all right. Who was the best kick at the club?
Me.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, baby.
Give us one word that describes what footy means to you.
Enjoyment.
Beautiful. Your first goal was against who?
Brisbane Lions.
All right. What's your favourite dish to eat?
That would be chicken cashew nut.
Okay. What's the best artist or concert you've ever been to?
Ed Sheeran.
Okay. Favourite movie?
Shawshank Redemption.
Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
Tomato sauce in the fridge or the cupboard?
Cupboard. It's too cold otherwise.
Pyjamas, boxer shorts, jocks or naked when it comes to bedtime?
Jocks.
Aisle or window seat on a plane?
Window. Absolutely.
Left or right-handed side of the bed?
Right.
All right, there you go. Very nice. I like it.
Yeah, we try
Very nice. Okay, same 15 questions apply to you, my friend. Who did you grow up supporting and who was your favourite footballer?
St Kilda and Nick Del Santo.
Okay. What is the one... Interesting little clap. Okay. What is the one headline you'd like to wake up and read about yourself?
Seriously. Oh, no, I didn't. Nah. That he just had a little baby boy.
Father son. I like it.
I like it. Oh, no, see, that's why he took his time. That's beautiful. I love that. Who's been your toughest opponent to match up on?
That's a good question as well. Stevie Baker.
Okay.
Early days.
Yeah,
early
right.
days. Yeah.
Yep. Who was the last person you spoke to on your phone?
My sister,
Okay. Who's the best kick at the club?
Carl Amon.
Give it. Oh, that hurt. No, it's okay. All right. Give us one word that describes what footy means to you.
Life at the moment. It's
Beautiful.
Pretty good.
Yep. Your first goal was against who?
St Kilda.
Okay. What's your favourite dish to eat?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Lovely. What's your, oh yeah. What's your best artist? What's the best artist or concert you have ever been to?
Taylor Swift.
All right. Favourite movie?
The Longest Yard.
Okay. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
Tomato sauce, fridge or cupboard?
Cupboard.
Pyjamas, boxer Jackson. Pyjamas, boxer shorts, jocks or naked when it comes to bedtime?
PJs like
Okay. Aisle or window seat on a plane?
window.
And left or right-handed side of the bed?
Left-handed as you look at it. If
Yeah.
does
Okay.
that make sense?
Nice. Very well done. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for the boys. Thank you. All right, so the boys will keep score for you as we go. Here comes your first question. How many premierships has your club won? Kai.
One ever.
How many premierships has your club won?
9.
No. Ben.
14.
How many?
14.
No. 13. Who is your team's captain?
Ben.
Ben.
James Sicily.
James Sicily is correct. You're off the mark. 1 point. Who wears number 6 at your club?
Ben.
Ben.
Sicily.
James Sicily again. Well done. How many members does your club currently have closest to within 1,000? Kai.
70,000. No.
I'll give it to you. It's 80,698. All right. So you can take that one. You did say 79, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's an honesty game too, you know. All right. Where did your team finish on the ladder at the end of the home and away season last year? Kai.
17th.
No. Ben.
16th.
16th is correct. Well done. How many games did your team win last year at the end of the home and away season?
Ben.
Ben.
6.
No.
7.
7. Well done. See, you see how this is working now. All right. What year did your team last win a grand final?
Ben.
Ben.
15. 15.
Yes. And who did they play?
West Coast.
Yeah, that's correct. Well done. 1 point you get. How many points did you win that grand final by?
Ben.
Kai.
Ben.
46.
Did you say 46?
46.
You would be correct. 46 is spot on. Well done. 2 versus 5. All right. This is for 2 points, boys. Who was your club's leading goal kicker in 2023 and how many goals did they kick?
Ben.
Kai.
Ben.
Luke Proust.
Yes.
43.
No. Kai.
Say 45.
47. Bad luck. You get 1 point though. Okay, 1 point to you.
Because I
Ben.
wasn't there, that's why.
All right, this is for 3 points, boys. Player, year and votes. Who was the last Hawthorn player to win a Brownlow
Ben.
medal? What year and how many votes did they poll? And Ben, your answer is?
Tom Mitchell,
Yes.
2018.
18. Did you say?
And
Yeah.
30.
No. Kai?
And say 26.
No. It was 2018. You got that point. Tom Mitchell was correct, but it was 28. 28 votes. All right. So just 2 points. Yeah.
I'm
Two.
trailing a
Kai.
bit here.
Hey. All right. Who has kicked the most? This is a multiple choice question, guys. The last 2 questions are multiple choice. Who has kicked the most goals in the history of the Hawthorn football?
Ben. Jason Dunstall.
Okay. And for a bonus point, can you tell me how many goals it is?
1,254.
Oh, he got both. Well done.
No, that's
All right.
out of my range.
Well
that.
done. You should be wearing more than just that scarf, mate. That's brilliant.
He was the hero.
All right.
That one was easy.
Here comes your last question. Sorry, Kai.
you're all right.
Who has played the most games at the Hawthorn Football Club out of these 3 players? A. Shane Crawford, B. Luke Hodge, or C. Sam Mitchell?
Ben.
Ben.
It's all the same.
And for a bonus point, could you tell me how many?
305.
This is ridiculous.
You got it with Sam Mitchell. Bonus point, not 305. Could you tell me how many, Kai?
For who?
Sam Mitchell.
Oh. 307.
Yeah, well done. Oh, that was brilliant. Well done, you mate. Well done. Excellent. Total score of 3 versus 11. We have a winner, Simply the Best. There you go. Congratulations to our Simply the Best winner, which is Ben in this instance. You've just scored yourself a set of Yamaha TWEF3A earbuds valued at $99. All right. They're from, obviously, Yamaha. What an awesome prize. We hope you enjoy them. Congratulations. Well done. Kai, you don't go empty-handed. There's an $80 pack of That's Good Footy merchandise in there for you. Thanks to both of you for playing. Well done. Good on you guys. So what will happen here, boys, because you went first, Jack, Luke, you're going to go first in this instance. So I'm going to be asking you all the questions that Jack gave us his answers, and we're going to see how many that you can get right. Each time he gets one right, you're going to flip that paddle over, okay? So you're going to be going first, Cooper. All right, you ready to go, my friend?
Yeah.
Here we go then. Who did Jack grow up supporting and who was his favourite footballer?
Essendon, Matthew Lloyd.
There's 1 point. Well done. Turn it around the other way so you can... turn it around. Oh, there we go. 1. Well done. All right. What is the one headline he would like to wake up and read about himself?
He wanted to win the grand final for Hawthorn.
All right. Oh, I should just add, if he gets it right, you can just go yes or no. Okay. Who has been his toughest opponent to match up on?
Tarrant? Was it Tarrant?
Which one?
Robbie Tarrant?
Yeah. Beautiful. Didn't know it was going to be that tough. All right. Who was the last person he spoke to on his phone?
Hugh McCluggage.
Nice. Who did he say was the best kick at the club?
Himself.
What one word did he use to describe what footy means to him?
Love, was it? No.
Enjoyment.
Enjoyment, that far.
Yeah, no points then, okay. All right, his first goal was against who?
Brisbane.
Okay. His favourite dish to eat is what?
Hey.
Chicken cashew nut. Thai, yeah.
Yeah, all right, it was.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You better help me.
Yeah, best artist or concert was?
Ed Sheeran.
Beautiful. What's his favourite go-to movie?
Shawshank. Redemption.
Thank you. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
Fridge in the cupboard or?
Yeah, cupboard. Yeah.
Yep. Pyjamas, boxers or naked for bed? Yeah.
Or boxes. Was it boxes? No.
Jocks.
No.
I reckon you've got a couple of extra ones here. He's just rolling it over.
Couple of last questions. Aisle or window on a plane?
Here's window.
Jack,
right?
yep. And the last one, left or right-hand side of the bed?
Right.
Jack?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. All right, finished up with a total score of 13. All right. Not bad. Here we go. So you're going to be keeping score now, Hudson? All right, Jack's going to be answering all the questions. I like that. Get ready. Who did Luke grow up supporting and who was his favourite footballer?
Yeah, St Kilda and Nick Dalsano.
Nice. What is one headline he'd like to wake up and read about himself?
That he had a baby boy.
Beautiful. Who has been his toughest opponent to match up on?
Stephen Baker.
Who was the last person he spoke to on his phone?
His sister.
What did he say? Who did he say was the best kick at the club?
Carl Amon.
Controversial, yes. What one word did he use to describe what footy means to him?
He took forever to answer this one. Life. You said life.
Did I?
How am I meant to win this?
Oh, did I? Yeah, very nice. His first goal was against who?
Was it St Kilda?
His favourite dish to eat is what?
Spaghetti bolognese.
Is that right? Someone said yum down there. All right.
Smothered with tomato sauce.
Yeah.
Some
Best,
unknown reason.
best artist or concert was?
Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, he's still wearing the wristband.
What's his favourite go-to movie?
Longest yard.
Yeah, beautiful. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter?
Smooth.
Fridge in the cupboard or?
Cupboard.
Yep, for tomato sauce.
Tomato sauce.
Pyjamas, boxer shorts or naked for bed or undies or?
Yeah, I wasn't listening here. I was thinking about something, but I think it's boxers. Pyjamas. Yeah,
pyjamas.
Peter Alexander pyjamas he wears. I knew it was.
All right. Nice little plug too. Aisle or window on the plane?
Window.
Yeah. Oh, look at this. Scores are level. You need this to win. Left or right-hand side of the bed?
And left-hand side, looking at it.
Yes. Well done. Thank you, boys. That was beautiful. We don't have any losers. You both win, all right? Both of you get to take home a That's Good Footy merchandise pack.
yeah.
There's a stubby holder in there, but you put soft drink in that, okay? Just to be on the safe side. Well done, boys. Congratulations. Thank you. All right. I'm just going to very quickly just talk a little bit about footy, because it is a footy panel show, so we'll just do this just for the argument's sake. We'll talk about this. Hawks form 7 losses, 4 wins, sitting 14th on the ladder. Your next game, MCG on Saturday afternoon, 1:45 against Adelaide. Wingard and Lewis are close to a call-up. Jack, 4 on the weekend. Good hit out, mate. How'd you feel? 4 on the weekend.
I hope Mitch Lewis isn't too close to a call-up. I might not be playing.
Yeah, well.
No, it was nice. Yeah, it was nice to kick a few, and I've been having my shots, so it was nice to kick straight. But I think hopefully the Hawks fans are really enjoying how we're playing footy at the moment. I think it's a great way to play, and it's an exciting brand, and it's something you want to go and watch, and you want to be a part of. And it was the plan all along. We weren't really sure what was going wrong. We were maybe trying a few too many things early in the season, and we had only a couple of poor games, and then there was inaccuracy against Essendon and a couple of other reasons in some other games. But we only just lost to Collingwood, just lost to Port. So there's some really exciting footy and an exciting time, and hopefully we can just keep building on it. We do have a young list, but that's not an excuse. We should keep playing the same way, and hopefully we keep building from this.
Beautiful said. I'll get you to answer the next question. Give us some insight about the attitude and the and the intent down at the club. How would you describe it? Tell us a little bit about the excitement of some of these young guns. Will Day, Cal Shadir, Nick Watson, Josh Weddle. It's a great spread of youth and experience. I throw into that Jai Newcomb as well. What is the feeling like down at the club from your perspective?
Yeah, it's a great feeling, and as Jack said before, hopefully you guys are starting to really enjoy watching not only the brand that we're trying to play, but also these young guys coming through. So some of those names that you just mentioned, Will Day is probably the obvious one. Like reigning best and fairest, obviously had a bit of interrupted year this year, but I don't know, when he plays, our midfield just looks so different. Just brings that different element into Warple and Newcomb and these sort of guys. So they're sort of like inside bulls, and like the left foot kick that he hit Jack with on the weekend. Like there's not too many players in the comp that could do that on their opposite foot. So Will's absolutely brilliant. And then those next names you mentioned. So Deere, Watson, Weddle, who else? Newcomb. Who else is young? Even Cam McKenzie, Josh Ward, Connor McDonald's still young. Like
Massimo's young.
Yeah, like these sort of guys. They're all like the guys that we have from. I think Weddle turned 20 the other day. Like it just feels like he's been here for ages, and it's literally he's been here for 16 months or whatever it is. Like it's such a short amount of time, and the impact he's had has been huge. So very exciting for us and the footy club.
Yeah, brilliant. Not to be facetious here, no doubt the team message for this game will be hunt and chase, protect the corridor, take on every opportunity, apply pressure both on the ball carrier as well as the scoreboard, make your tackle stick and be effective with your ball use. Have I summed that up accurately enough?
Yeah, that's pretty good. I kicked a Jack as well. Might just be
especially this week for 250.
Exactly, and
there'll be a few messages saying coming out like if you can find me early, then it'd be nice.
And that's what I actually, just before I wanted to sign off on this last little segment, congratulations, mate. 249 games. It's a hell of an effort. It really is. It's just phenomenal. When I read out those stats at the start of the show about what you two boys have both brought to the Hawthorn Football Club, but it is a special day for you. How are you feeling about going into it? And have you got anything special that the club's lined up for you to...
I'm really excited about this one, and I said it today in a Herald Sun article. My 200th was in the hub, so I didn't get to have any family or friends come along, and I think my footy journey to 200 was pretty smooth sailing, had some great highs and nothing really went wrong, and from 200 to 250, a couple of back operations, a few personal things, and it's been a harder slog to 50, so the next 50, so really looking forward. Got 50 to 60 people coming to the game, and we've got some drinks lined up afterwards, and it coincides, so it's our 2014 reunion this weekend as well.
I noticed that, yeah.
They're all coming along,
How special.
and we're all going to be drinking at the same hotel later on, because there's so many close friends in that team.
Yeah.
So it's just going to work out really well, and hopefully we can get the job done just to make the day even better.
How exciting for you. I'm really, really happy. I'm stoked that it's going to be in the presence of everybody that you just mentioned because of the reunion. But on top of that, it's a wonderful achievement that you're reaching this milestone. 250th game. Could you please put your hands together for Jack Gunston? Totally phenomenal, mate. I just wanted to say to both of you, good luck on the weekend. Congratulations. I'm sure you'll be out there cheering him off maybe at the end.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I haven't asked him yet. Playing hard to get at the moment.
Okay, all right.
He's so skinny that maybe only needs me to cheer him on. Like he doesn't need two. Like doesn't need another mate on the other side. I can just chuck him on my back.
Oh, I love it. A piggyback ride around the MCG. Oh, that'll be beautiful. But yeah, congratulations to both of you. Good luck on the weekend. Please put your hands together for the boys.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
If you'd like to be part of the live audience at any of the shows, get onto the website, which is www.that'sgoodfooty.com.au/events, because it's always better live, much better live. So we would love it if you could come along. You're going to love this part because the next That's Good Footy panel show is on June the 12th. We're heading to the Churnside Park Country Club, 68 Kingswood Drive, Churnside Park. It's a Collingwood night. Yeah, I thought you'd like that. It's with Brodie Myercheck and last year's Norm Smith medalist Bobby Hill. And then on June the 26th, we're heading to the Italian Sports Club in Werribee for a Collingwood show. Another one. With Beau McCreary and Jack Crisp. Remember, when you purchase your tickets, you can only do it through the That's Good Footy website, which is www.that'sgoodfooty.com.au/events. Thanks to everyone for attending tonight. Thanks for everyone that got involved in both the raffles, the memorabilia. It was great that you got your photos, you got your autographs. What I now need to do is just, could you put your hands together for Sam, my sound guy? He does all the hard work. And then while you're at it, the lovely Sandy, she does the door, the floor, and so much more. She's beautiful. We love Sandy. But what you really came here to see was not the That's Good Footy panel show. It was to come and to celebrate on the eve of Jack Gunston's 250th game. Could you please put your hands together for Jack Gunston? And also to Luke Bruce. I even join in on that now. I think that's fantastic. The boys are just about to pick up their microphones. I did wish you all the best, but I just wanted to say thanks for being on the show tonight. It was great to have both of you here. I'm going to leave the final words for you boys just to say whatever you'd like.
Yeah, no, thank you for having us. Really appreciate the love and the support that you show a lot of us and a lot of the boys there, and I'm very grateful that you've welcomed me back, and everyone's been so welcoming to come back and be able to finish my career here. So thank you.
Yeah, don't have to add too much to that, but looking forward to seeing most of you guys at the G on Saturday.
Yeah, well done. I love it. Very nice. Great to have the boys on the show. If I ever get the chance again, it'd be great to have them back. Either way, let's get another Hawthorn show together. If you guys can get behind it and support it, I'll put it on if you come. It's as simple as that. That's how it works. But if you don't, then forget it. Ask them who they want. No, I'm not going to do that. No. They're probably going to say CJ and Guinea. Probably. Oh, there you go. All right. Gee, how'd I guess that? Anyway, all I wanted to say is it's been wonderful having you all here tonight. My name is Damien. This has been the That's Good for Footy panel show. We hope to see you all again real soon. Thank you and good night. Cheers, everyone.
Forget about the heartbreaks, the agony and heartaches. You give it all for the game's sake, and that's good for footy. And this is what you pray for every night.